back to Maggie's Cottage. I hope you've been enjoying some of our other videos on the renovations of our cottage, on our DIY projects, and on some fun decorating ideas. We spend a lot of time at Maggie's Cottage working on projects and renovations, but when we're not there, we have this other home that we stay at least until retirement. But sometimes I feel like it gets neglected because of all the time, money, and effort that we put into Maggie's Cottage. And this is our kitchen in our other home, and we decided it was time for a remodel. We've lived here for many years, and a while ago I had painted the cabinets with chalk paint, the upper and lowers, and I love the way that it turned out. We put in some laminate and some tin backsplash, which looks really nice, but this kitchen has always been really small and it's never had enough counter space. So we decided it was time to put some money and effort and time into this home and into this kitchen. You see, it has some cabinets that we'd put in a few years ago. It has two pantries, which is nice, a big walk-in pantry and then a smaller pantry that I use for baking items. And you can see we have parquet floor, which is about 30 years old in this room and in the adjoining family room, and I've wanted to do something for a long time to update this. So we started by laying out a configuration of how we wanted the new cabinets to be. But of course we needed to be budget friendly, so we had to decide what would be the best thing to do so that we could get all the options that we want, or at least most of them, in this home, to make it more spacious and just more easy to use. And so we laid out the configuration, figured out how we could expand our cabinet space and our counter space, and then we decided that we needed to go and look at what cabinets were available and see what would be the best budget-friendly thing that we could do. So we went over to Lowe's and Home Depot and we checked out the cabinets that they have in stock, some that were already finished, but I really wanted color cabinets also. And we decided that probably the best and the most budget-friendly thing to do would be to go with the unfinished stock cabinets that we could paint ourselves, finish ourselves, and get the look that we want for our kitchen. And it would be very budget-friendly, and it would make it possible for us to use some of the other money for other things that we really want in the kitchen and not spend so much on the cabinets. So we found the cabinets that we needed, used our little diagram our configuration that we had put together, and got the cabinet sizes that we needed to use in our kitchen. So after we got our cabinets, the next thing to do was to tear apart the existing kitchen. Took out the laminate countertops, the old cabinets, and then it was time to figure out what we were going to do with the refrigerator. We wanted more counter space and the fridge was in the way. So we had torn out those cabinets that were on the side, and we decided we were going to move the refrigerator over there and find cabinets that we could fit around it so it would look built in. We started by putting our other cabinets in place, and you can see this is where the refrigerator used to be, and so it extended the counter space here probably around 2 feet. And then on the other side we decided the way to extend the counter space over there was to add a little peninsula. So that last cabinet you see there is all extra cabinets and counter space that we never had before. And already I was getting so excited seeing how much extra counter space we're going to have. Continued by putting in the other cabinets, got the doors off, getting ready to paint and prime. So I wanted to tell you how I came up with the color for our cabinets. I went to Home Depot and I looked at their custom cabinet colors, and I found a color that I loved. So I had them color match some paint, but they didn't have the paint that I wanted to use. I wanted to use Benjamin Moore Advanced Waterborne Interior Alkali Enamel in satin because I had read a lot about it. It sounded like it would be a good paint to use, and it would be self-leveling and go on nice and smooth. So I took that to Ace Hardware, that paint that I had that I got at Home Depot, and I had them match it there. So I was excited about using this paint and finding it from a custom cabinet. So on the end caps you can see that we put, on this little peninsula, we put beadboard to just finish it off, and I love the way that it looks. And on each end of the cabinets we did that. So the first thing with these cabinets, because they were unfinished stock cabinets, they needed a little bit of sanding, and then they needed to be primed. So I had the primer tinted the color of the bottom base cabinets, or a little bit lighter than that. And I primed them, and I used Zinsser paint to prime those, and worked on all the base cabinets. And then I needed to do the cabinet doors, so I laid those out, and I used a roller and a synthetic nylon brush or polyester brush to paint these. And I would do one side at a time and let that dry for like 16 hours or more the next day usually, and then paint that. So you also need to sand in between coats. So I used about 2 to 3 coats of paint, and I really love the way that it went on, and it really is a good paint, and it's held up really well. And on the upper cabinets I used a color called Simple White. So now it was time to start working on the upper cabinet. So we got the old cabinets down, and they began by putting up the new unfinished cabinets, and they went up fairly well. You can see, had some help from our son. Once they got them up, they added some beadboard on the sides, and then we wanted to have them go all the way to the ceiling. So Brian built a frame and used some thin wood and closed that in, and it looks really nice, and then added the crown molding up above. I really like the way they turned out. We left about the same size configuration on these cabinets because it was plenty of space up above. So I primed them. I used the gray primer. If I had to do it again, I would use a white primer because it took quite a few coats of the white to cover it up. But it eventually went on really well, and I really like this paint, like I said, you know, and sand in between, and of course because it was raw wood we had to sand it. So on the opposite wall where we put the refrigerator, we found cabinets that would fit, that we could make it look like a built-in area for the refrigerator, and that was really nice that we were able to find cabinets that size to put in there, and got those primed and ready to go. Once the cabinets were painted, it was time for our countertops, and because we'd saved money on the cabinets, we were able to get quartz countertops, which we had installed by Home Depot. We can't do that ourselves, so they did that for us, and I love the way they turned out. They're so durable and sturdy and beautiful. I love them. Looks really nice. So now it's time to do something with the walls. So I used shiplap for my backsplash. Here I am painting it. We also put shiplap on 2 other walls. Not very big walls, but I love the way that it looks. I love the modern farmhouse look. Turned out really nice. Then it was time to deal with the parquet flooring. You can see that I had painted a rug on this parquet flooring years ago just to try to brighten it up. But I love this flooring that we used. It is Pergo Outlast, and it is waterproof. And my husband loved how he could lay it right over the parquet flooring without taking it up. If you've ever had to take up glued down parquet, it is a real pain. So this was really nice, and it went down really easy. He's laid a lot of floors. He's had a lot of experience doing this for me here and at our cottage. So it looks really nice. And you can see in the background the walls. We painted all the walls a gray, and I love the way that it turns out. This is the family room. This is from the kitchen looking into the family room. And we added a stainless steel undermount sink also, which we love, and little farmhouse faucets. You can see the hardware we put on the cabinets. Here's the shiplap wall that has the little pantry on it and the fridge. And look how those cabinets look so beautiful around the fridge, how it looks so built in. And there's our other walk-in pantry, painted that door the same color as the cabinets. And here's looking into the kitchen. See that little peninsula that gives me so much more counter space. And we did get new appliances, stainless steel. And I love the way that they look. Looking in, seeing the shiplap wall. And then we did some little farmhouse shelves. We actually brought this wood from Maggie's cottage. So I love that we can incorporate some things from there here as well. And I love the way that it works. I just love this modern farmhouse look in this house here. Maggie's cottage is actually a farmhouse, so that is a farmhouse kitchen. If you want to look at that video of our restoring that kitchen, please check out that video also. Here's looking into the family room. and back into the kitchen. I really love the way that this turned out. We're able to save a lot of money by doing these cabinets ourselves, and by getting the unfinished stock cabinets and painting them. I was able to get custom color and, you know, the width that I wanted so that I could have longer counter space, and I love it. I love having this counter space, and quartz is amazing if you're looking for some type of counter space that you would love. Thank you for watching the video, and I hope that this gave you some ideas on some things that you can do to remodel your kitchen inexpensively to get a custom look that you like. And please check out our other videos about Maggie's cottage renovation and some of our DIY projects, decorating ideas. I think you'll really enjoy them. Please subscribe to our channel also. Thank you for watching.